Hey guys, this is Kim with Sowing Seeds Homestead. I know you're not going to believe this, but yet again, I am in a hotel room because I'm a nurse first and foremost, and sometimes I just get called into different buildings and I get stuck. But I wanted to kind of give you guys just have a little bit of a conversation and um, welcome you guys into my home away from home. Um, I am down here in Sikeston, Missouri. We are getting some pretty big rain and it's really, really cold outside. Um, so some of the things that we had talked about before I left home was our animals and making sure that we had everything in place um, for them to have, fresh bedding, um, their food to be inside and heat, and for us to make sure that we stay up on the water so that the water doesn't freeze. So we've been working on that. We are actually watering twice a day right now, and they're saying on the news right now it's going to be -1 tonight. So I'm not real excited, and we have lost power here once. So I'm a little nervous about that. I'm probably going to end up being here an extra night. Normally, I will leave and then I will come back um, the night that I get off work. And I will just go ahead and travel out home, but nope, nope. They're talking about bad weather on Wednesday night, and I decided it's better for me to drive in daylight rather than driving at night. So that's not going to work out for us all. So a couple things that we've done is we are now watering multiple times a day so that we don't have to worry about the water freezing and for the animals to have fresh water. The other things that we're doing is we have moved the food containers inside their houses. Most of them had already been moved in, but we have a food trough outside and inside for the hogs, and Princess tends to be a little temperamental, and she doesn't like for things to change. So that's going to be an obstacle all by itself, and I'm going to let my husband handle that because I think that's his thing. Another thing is that we have put all the heat lamps up in with the chickens and things like that. That had already been up and put in place, but we went down, double checked, seen if we need to put an extra one in or what we need to do. And right now I think that they're pretty good. My plants that I planted last week or the week before are actually starting to sprout real good, so I'm getting a little bit of green. And so then I have a grow light that will be in on Wednesday, and we're going to put it in so that they get plenty of fake sun. So then I should see some great growth with that. I'm really excited. I will show you guys videos once all that stuff comes in and you guys can see all the babies growing. And then we're going to get ready for the next round of indoor planting because I've got my tomatoes, my cucumbers, and my bell peppers. I mean, I just have tons of other stuff that I have to get started in the house. I'm real excited. I cannot wait for this growing season to actually get in full bloom. And then I would love, once I get my greenhouse together, which my husband and his cousin are going to work on for me. We are reutilizing the old school bus that Grandma and Grandpa has had up there for years. And we're going to equip it with heat, with grow lights, and all those kinds of things, just so that it has everything that it needs. The other thing that we're going to be doing is we are going to start getting the raised beds done. This year we're probably going to end up in the felt containers, but my hope is that part of them aren't, and my hope is that we'll have a couple of the raised gardens done. So in the fall we'll actually be able to utilize them more. The spring is going to be a little bit iffy. We'll probably end up with more bin containers to make it work. Another thing is I'm really struggling to find seed potatoes, but this Walmart in Sikeston, Missouri, because that's where I'm at right now, I was over there and I was getting my soda and stuff for the day, or for the week. they have seed potatoes, and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna pick those up tomorrow on my way home, as long as the weather's not bad. If the weather's bad, it may wait until Thursday morning whenever I leave. But I am gonna pick me up 3 or 4 of those. So that's pretty exciting. The other things, oh, on our Facebook page, which is Sowing Seeds Homestead, I found it's called water jarring eggs. It is actually from the 1800s. It was before they had refrigeration, and it's done with lime and water and any kind of container, and it will actually hold your eggs for up to 2 years. Now, I'm not so sure if I want to eat an egg that's 2 years old, but apparently, way back in the day, before they had power, that is actually what they did, which is completely amazing. Um, and that's again becoming completely self-sufficient, which is really our purpose. The reason they used to do that was they would do um, the water jarring because your chickens wouldn't lay as heavy in the winter, so they would have to have eggs to last all winter. So that was one of the ways that they preserved them. So I actually put on our website the directions and the recipe, which I thought was pretty cool. So I think I'm going to actually try it coming up soon. We have probably 7 dozen of fresh eggs in our refrigerator right now. And so what I'm hoping is that you don't want to refrigerate them. So we're going to take the ones that we get over the next week or so, and we're going to just leave them on the counter. Don't wash them or anything. We're going to just leave them on the counter and utilize them that way. And I'm going to try the water bottling, the water jarring. Oh, I'm so sorry. That 5-hour drive was completely insane. So I am really, really ready for bed. Um, so I'm actually it should have only taken me like 2.5 hours to get here, and it took me 5. It was a little extreme, but we make it work because that's what we do as healthcare workers. So a couple of other things that I want to talk about. We actually make some different types of salve. We make plantain salve, which is an all-around, absolutely amazing antibiotic salve. And on my Facebook page, I actually posted a article about plantain and the medicinal properties of it. It is a anti-inflammatory. It is a drawing agent, just kind of like our Prid salve was, or has been. The only bonus with plantain salve is it's completely natural. It doesn't have any of the other stuff in it, and Prid can damage the good tissue as well as the bad tissue. So the plantain salve does not. So we make it at our house, and we usually sell it pretty local. And if we do any farmers markets or anything like that, a lot of times we'll take something like that with us. But we will do that, and we're able to utilize our own, stuff. And it's a weed. It grows in your yard. I mean, anyone can find it. It's very recognizable. Um, and what is funny is if you go to our page, please do, and friend us, and it will you will actually be able to see the weed, which is absolutely crazy. Because once you see it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I have this growing in my yard. And it grows all year, or it grows all the way through the fall from the spring. Um, and it is one of those things that if you get stung by a bee or something and you need something to quickly draw out a sting, you can actually take it and, I know this sounds crazy, but you can put a leaf of it in your mouth, chew it up because it's completely edible, and you can slap it on there and it will actually draw out the sting. If you have a splinter, you can utilize it on that. My son, he gets poison oak every year, and when he gets it, I always put the poison oak, and we lather him up, and that is actually how we get it to dry up within 24 hours. There was a year that we were back and forth to the doctor. His eyes were swollen shut, his face was swollen all over. He, oh dear God, he looked like Frankenstein. He looked so awful. Please don't tell him I said that. But it was one of those things where we ended up, it was just, let's try it. Let's see. Because we'd done everything else. He'd already gotten like 6 or 7 shots. And I know my baby is a, is a big big boy, but if you've ever had to hold down a 17 or 18-year-old boy to get him a shot for poison oak, you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. But within 24 hours of us putting it on him, it completely dried up. The other thing that we make is we make lye soaps, different fragrances. Some's good, better for eczema, good for dry skin. Um, we make it with olive oil, shea butter, just we have multiple different recipes, and we also make what we call cayenne salve, and it's actually spelled Kyann, and it's actually made out of cayenne pepper, which has capsaicin in it, and it's an anti-inflammatory. It will actually help with the pain receptors. Um, it's good for fibromyalgia, that kind of stuff, and we make that at home because my husband, who has been a logger his whole life, has a lot of joint pain and muscle pain because it's just such a labor intensive job. And my daughter looked at me one day and said, "Mom, we've got to do something to help Dad." And that was one of the things that we did. So she did some homework, which I absolutely loved, that she was willing to put that effort in and do the homework. And when she was done, we started putting it on Dad. Well, now multiple people in the family actually all get it and they all utilize it because it's natural, it's homemade, it doesn't have any of the extra stuff in it, so it's absolutely wonderful. No chemicals, no nothing harsh. There's nothing. I mean, unless you're allergic to cayenne pepper, you're not going to have a reaction to it. Um, so that's pretty amazing. We also do other things. We make all homemade gifts for Christmas and for holidays and for birthdays and stuff. I mean, unless you're little, and I mean, if you're a baby, we just get you something simple. But for any of our older family members, we always make them something. So whether it is towels, T-shirts, um, any household, anything. I mean, we make all of our own stuff, so it's been pretty great. And I think that it's funny now that my kids are older and um, they don't all live with me, not by my choice, by theirs, obviously. But you watch them and they've picked up so many of your habits where they um, utilize things that you would have utilized or you utilize and nobody else would around you because it's more simple and it's we've raised them with a simplistic lifestyle. Um, the other thing is, I'm really excited. Um, I made a humongous batch of chili last night, and I actually had some leftovers, and I canned 7 quarts and 1 pint of homemade chili, and which is fantastic for my husband because not that he's not a great cook, he is a great cook, but he's a very messy cook. And my thinking was if I could make something simple, so that all I had to do is open up the can, add a little bit of something with it, vegetables, side dish, something like that, then you know it would be easier for him. So I canned our leftover chili, which um, you pressure cook it at 10 pounds for an hour and a half. So it was absolutely amazing. So 7 quarts and 1 pint later, the family has food. So I am going to get ready to pile up and go to sleep, and I would just want to let you know that we're all thinking about you on from this end. Stay warm, stay safe, and God bless. Thanks so much. Bye.